What's going on? This is your video biography of author, poet, tutor, teacher, rapper, performer, baker, spoken word artist, sci-fi novelist, songwriter, and musician, and vocalist Stanley Pitchford. That might be about 10 things, I don't know. But I do all of them. Anyway, I'm a mentor and an aide at the St. Louis Public Schools as well. Still looking to help out millions of people be successful. That's my number one goal. I never knock anybody if I know the answer. God gave me a great gift. Or a lot of great of them. I don't know. Spiritual gifts, I think he gave me a lot of some other things that I don't know yet. But anyway, my birthday coming up soon. Not gonna say what it is. Those you know. But I was born in the late 1970s. My dad left me when I was weeks old. My mother and my granny raised me, and they did a very good job. My granny had a very strong role. I was about to be given up for adoption. My granny decided to keep us all brothers together, and we grew up under the guidance of my mother, and my grandma. But moving on, I was in the summer of 1984. In the summer of 1984, I actually started rhyming a lot. You know, I was writing rhymes on paper. Didn't even make sense. I like writing rhymes to words. Cat, bat, cat in that hat. You know, stuff like that. That led to me writing a lot and rhyming. And I was very young age, about 7, 8 years old. And then later in that, I failed the first grade. I'm not pleased to say that at all, one bit. But I failed the first grade because I was sick a lot, threw up on my book a lot. I was never at school, so that's really the reason why I failed. I was really disappointed because the teacher was going to pass me, but my grandma said, hold him back, because he don't know his times tables. He don't know things that he should know. All right, so I failed the first grade. So the next year, right after that, 1985, I began to think about it. I said, hold up. I'm going to pick a subject and just stick to it and start liking it. And that subject was math. I started liking the math. Didn't care about no other subject. I was going through classes, having trouble in other classes, but math seemed to take my interest. It was more of a challenge. The other classes were challenging too, but math did provide one of those slick challenges for me where I was challenged by numbers and loved to tackle the numbers. So I started liking math, played number munchers back in the day, played a lot of games that involved a lot of math, playing with numbers. So I began to like math a lot. And I began to like school because of the math. So I started having perfect attendance year after year. In 1988, I got awarded for perfect attendance. Then I got to thinking about, I don't want to stay at home anyway. All my friends are at school. So, in 1989, I started getting good grades in school, and as a result, I got clocks and awards from people from my church. And so 1990 to 1992, I was basically in middle school, and it was real fun and exciting. I was at Mason Middle High School, where my gym instructor, Mr. Halliburton, who's probably on my Facebook page anyway. He showed me a lot of athletic ability that I had at the time and told me I could be a really, athletic person. He showed me a lot of tips and sports tricks, and I credit him for that because I took a lot of those skills with me through high school. From 1992 to 1993, I was at Gateway High School, and I started keeping up. My grades was better. I started doing better. Math helped me in all my other subjects, so I started doing better in all my other subjects. So I started, but math I didn't even worry about no more. I started letting math go and just started worrying about all my other subjects. But in 1994, I used to do a lot of crazy stuff. I gained a lot of friends by 1994, and we used to go to parties, and after we go to parties, we had this clique called LU, and we would have these parties, And these parties was nice. I was a bouncer at the door. I was one by the ticket booth, make sure people come in quietly and all that. Because I was big at the time. Not as big as I am now, but I was still big. We had a lot of fun when I was in my high school years. But every time we leave a homecoming or a major party, me and some friends of mine we went to school with, we would go down to Shoney's and we would eat from the Shoney plate. And we would eat from that mug too. We would literally eat and run out of that mug. We wouldn't even pay. Those days was crazy. Also, my prom date, I cannot forget prom. Prom was nice. I went with a dear friend of mine. She was nice. She cool. We still keep contact today. I was in the National Honor Society because my grades still improved, kept on improving. And when I graduated in 1996, I had a 3.4 GPA. I know some people now trying to figure out my age. Yeah, you can go ahead and figure it out now. Because it's a videography, so it's my biography. So, in 1997, my first job came around, Six Flags St. Louis. And also, I was a food service rep at SLU, so I used to do food service for Subway. And I also participated in the Upper Bound program, which had a 3.8 in. That program was good, too. Upper Bound program actually secured a grant for me to go to SLU, where I didn't have to pay as much. But, you know, and I also took on a forklift driving job because it was a job that was paying real good at the time. It was back in 1998. I was making $9.75 an hour, and these guys was giving me hour after. I was giving me like 19 hours a day. So I really just sleeping and doing that job for a minute until I went back to school. So in the year 2000, I graduated and got my bachelor's from SLU, and with the emphasis in math. Then I started teaching with a teaching assistantship in 2001. So I started actually teaching some of the SLU students that were right behind me that were supposed to graduate. I got into teaching. That was my thesis instead of me doing a thesis for my master's. I taught all my years before I got my master's. But in 2002, I was still teaching at SLU, but I was also teaching community college level as well. In the summer, I got offered a position to teach our tutor at Junco at St. Louis Community College, and that's what got me introduced to teaching at junior college. So, in February 2003, I had graduated with my master's in mathematics, thinking in hopes of getting a job as an actuary, working at a firm, trying to save companies, give them risk on when they saving them from risk on how much they can allocate so they don't lose their company. I was looking for a job like that, but I never could find one. Actuarial jobs were then probably kind of scarce, and they were hard to come by. Plus, they was doing a lot of cutbacks, and I never got one. I want one. I still want one, even to this day. But because I'm really good with numbers and math and number crunching and doing stuff with math, you know. Also, then during that year, there was a Columbia disaster that hit in February 2003. And that's going to be part of the reason why my book comes out later in 2007. So I started doing a lot of tutoring after I graduated near the end of 2003 at Forest Park Community College. And this is what happened. When I got the adjunct job, the department chair of the college comes up and just tosses the papers on me and told me, "You're hired." I didn't even have to worry about getting an interview. The students was telling the teachers about me, saying, my tutor's a better teacher than you. So they came over and just gave me the job. I didn't really ask for it. So I took the job anyway. And then I started teaching at Forest Park Community College. Then I started teaching more classes there. And then my cookie business started booming because of the students. I brought some cookies one day to my students, and they loved them so much, and they say, "You should have a business doing this." So that's how the cookie business got started 10 years ago, back in the year 2004. And I've been doing it now 10 years, and I've sold, yet to sell a batch I've sold a batch earlier this year, but I sold a lot less last year. Pecan chocolate chips, you can go to my website and check that out, www.stanleypitchford.com. Look under cakes and cookies, and there you go. That's my business right there. That's my little hustle. It ain't really a business. It's my little hustle. In 2005, I became a full-time teacher at St. Louis Community College in Flo Valley. I was making $44,000 a year. My checks were $4,300 a month. Now imagine you making that and then you make a quarter of that now. That's where I'm at. I'm about a quarter of what I used to make. That's how I knew times was getting bad. Because I had full opportunities back before 2008. After 2008, it's like I'm struggling and still can't even get an opportunity. In 2006, I got real frustrated about the economy and that I lost my job. I started writing more, and I started writing so much. And I also got a job I was still a job as an adjunct at St. Louis Community College, but then I landed a job at Harris Stowe Teachers College as an adjunct as well. So I was working both places and doing a lot of writing because I was really infuriated, upset on why I couldn't find a full-time job even before the economy got bad. So in 2007, I came out with this sci-fi novel that I was thinking about based on the incident that happened back in 2003, which was the Columbia disaster about astronauts. So I wrote these books. And in 2007, at the beginning and the end, I wrote my Destruction via the Mirror Image sequels, parts 1 and 2. They're novels, and so now I'm a novelist. So now I'm a math teacher, and at this point now I'm a novelist, a sci-fi writer. So then, at 2008 came, I started teaching more classes at Flow Valley and at Harris Stowe. 2009 went by, I was still doing that. 2010 comes, and then I thought about it. My publisher talked with me, and we came out with this book of rhymes that I've written all over all my years. She was just like, people are really digging your rhymes, Stan, so you need to put them in a book. So my publisher asked me to come out with this book, put all the rhymes together. So I got 212 rhymes of poetry and spoken word. The book is called The Gift of Rhymes, and you can get that book today on Amazon.com, right along with my 2 science fiction novels. All you got to type in is my name, Stanley Pitchford, and you can get that book today on Amazon.com. That was 2010. 2011 was pretty cool. 2011, I wound up working for Sylvan Learning Center. So I went to Sylvan Learning Center to work as a tutor, and I was still working at Flow adjunct because I needed a second job because times was really rough. In 2012, I started working at St. Louis Community College still for a little while longer. I went back over to St. Louis Community College Forest Park to work as a tutor in the math help lab. By 2013, I was at St. Louis Public Schools, and I was working at Harris Stowe, but they were paying me $20 an hour to tutor. I was a full-time tutor for $20 an hour, but I wasn't making any benefits, but I was working close to 20 hours a week. I landed a job at St. Louis Public School District as a full-time teacher's aide. I started out being at Sumner High School. That was last fall. Then in spring, I wound up being at Gateway Tech, my old high school. This year, right now, this fall, I'm at Vashon High School looking to help as many Vashon Wolverines be successful as possible. Because that's what I'm about, student success. I done helped over 1 million people in my career, 15 or plus years of tutoring mathematics. And I'm wanting to help you next. I'm going to help you and you and you, everybody. If I got the knowledge, I'm going to help you. I'm tutoring somebody right now, possibly tomorrow, on biostatistics. I don't even know what biostatistics mean, but the math they had in, I know how to do. So, and all I need is this right here. They say it's 2 things in the world you should know how to do. You should know how to get paid off of what you know, or paid off of what you can do. And I know some things, and I can also do some things, but I'm basically paid off of what I know and what I've accumulated over years. And you can too. Stay in school. Not staying in school, that ain't cool. Stay in school, get your diploma, go to college, get your degree, because you always get to say you got that piece of paper, if nothing else. And right now, my birthday is coming up soon, and I still got a lot of people to help, including myself. But also, 2013 Well, this is the year of the music too. I also am a musician. I have a single on Amazon.com. You can go check me out. It's called Sweating It Just For Y'all. Go on Amazon.com and type in my name, Stanley Pitchford, and the white logo will come up with my name on it saying Sweating It Just For Y'all. Click on that. You can get my song for $1 on Amazon.com, and you can also get my song on iTunes.com as well. You can also go to YouTube and see the video, the performance video. Now, we're going to have a real deal video come out soon, but you can see the performance video on YouTube right now. Just go type on YouTube, search, type sweat, skip a space, then type 1, the number's 101 on there, and you can go see the video live. I'm way at the top. I start off on the bike, and then I end on the bike. So you can check that out. My music single debut came out last year, 2013. Music video out this year, 2014. Ain't no telling what I'm going to do in 2015, 16, or what beyond. But I do know this. God has been good. Peace.